Hi guys, my name is Shore Matsuri and welcome to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a long time since I posted any video on my channel, and I apologize to all my wonderful 505 subscribers. Alright, so from the title of this video, you know that I'm talking about my Plab journey. Now, Plab means Professional and Linguistic Assessment Board test. And for those who don't know, I'm a medical doctor trained in Nigeria, but I'm currently in the UK doing my master's degree in public health. The Plab exam is just an exam now, because it's a test. It's a test. So the Plab test is a test that every international medical graduate has to take for them to be able to get certified by the General Medical Council in the UK, so that they can be able to practice medicine in the UK. Okay, so I started my journey in Nigeria. I had to take the IELTS exam because it was part of the requirement. So I took the IELTS exam first. That was in 2021. But there were no spaces for Plab 1. If you know the story, you know that because of COVID, the frequency of writing Plab 1 was reduced, so there were no spaces. I literally had to keep checking the website every time to be looking for space. So I eventually got a space for 2022. That was like May 2022. Now, during this time, I was doing my NYSC and it was kicking my butt. I was literally so stressed that if you know, you know that where I served was a very, very stressful hospital, and it was like a lot having to prepare for the exam and work at the same time while looking for money to travel, because I had already started my plans to come to the UK for masters as at 2021 December. I already considered it, but I had not started anything yet. So in January 2022, that was when I said, okay, you know what, let's do this. Let's see how this master's thing go. If I get it, fine. If I don't, we move. So when the admissions started rolling in, I'm like, okay, this is real. So I had that on one hand, NYSC on one hand, and preparing for my Plab 1 exam on one hand. It was a lot. If I tell you that I was prepared for that exam, I'm lying, because I didn't even finish the material that we're supposed to read. So I used Plabables. That was the only material I had, and that was all I read, and I didn't finish it. I was able to do a mock, but I actually wasn't even feeling ready. As at the day of the exam, I was just traumatized. I got to Lagos, because it was Lagos. I had to write the exam. I got to Lagos like 2-3 days before. Stayed with a friend. Shout out to Muriel. Muriel housed me last minute because my venue was on the island and I needed somewhere close by to stay. So she was one that hosted me throughout that period. So I took the exam, fingers crossed, was waiting for my results. And this is where the testimony started. While I was waiting for my results, I started focusing on my travel plans and all that. So at that time, I had finished my NYSC, thank the Lord. So I just redirected my attention to my master's, and I was traveling up and down for visa, whatever. It was just a lot of traveling, but it took my mind off, anxiously waiting for the results. And the day of the result came, and I could not even log into my portal. I was so scared, oh my god. It was a friend of mine that I eventually logged in and see, oh, you passed. I was so shocked because the exam was not really it didn't really go as, if they had asked me after the exam, I wouldn't have said, oh, it was good. I was just I didn't know a lot of things. Well, I finished, so there was that. So the cutoff mark was 111 and I got 112. And that was it. passed. I was me. My joy knew no bound, and I'm like, thank you, God, because this can only be God. And I barely crossed over, but then I passed. So next plan is, Plab 2 next. But I had to like put a pause on it because I was like, okay, let me focus on this traveling first, and then when I get to the UK, I'll be able to decide when will be most convenient to write the exams. I wanted to write the exam in December 2022, but I got here in September, and I'm like, let me get my leg on the ground first. Let me get my feet on the ground first before I start, and Plab 2 is way more demanding than Plab 1. So I was like, I'm going to do that. So I eventually booked for the exam. I booked for the exam like in December last year, and I booked for April 2023. So from like January, that was when my preparation actually even started, because I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know what to read. There's so many materials flying around, So in January, I decided, okay, fine. To have a starting point, let me do an academy. So shout out to Key Points Academy. I did Key Points Academy in January / beginning of February. All the while, I was working part-time, and I had classes. Normally, you are supposed to make sure you attend at least 70% of all your lectures. So while I was still preparing, I was making sure that, okay, I don't miss my classes, so at least I get my attendance signed and all that. Like, I'll go to class some days and I'm not even there. I don't know what they are saying. I'm busy in one corner reading. So that was just the beginning of my preparation for Plab 2. And, that was where I started leaving YouTube. So slowly, the frequency of me, posting videos and all that just reduced. I just like, let me focus on this. So that's the explanation. So I started preparing intensely for the exam sometime around February ending. Joined a lot of practice groups, started practicing, putting myself out there, reading, because honestly, I've always felt deficient in a lot of areas, because I'm not the brightest person ever, but I try my best. So there was that. And I had some other health challenges as well that I really can't talk about here, but there was that in one corner. It was part-time job, which was really stressful, and then there was the masters, and then the preparation. So it was just a lot of things at the same time. It was quite overwhelming, I won't lie. And there are times where I cried, like, am I sure I'm doing the right thing? I even had people tell me, are you not sure you move this exam? It's a lot of money, you really don't want to fail. It was a lot, but I just stuck with my gut, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to give it a try. If I fail, I'll write it again. If not, thank God. But I already decided to take this exam now, so that before the end of my program, I'll have like something to hold on to get. So I took the bull by the balls and decided to go for it. And that was it. I wrote the exam in April, and I can't even explain how wild the whole journey was. Like, I could not sleep some days, I could not eat. I was obsessed with finishing the material, knowing all the possible stations that could come out. It was a lot. Well, we thank God. I wrote the exam in April, and my result came out not so long ago, and I passed. Like, the day that I saw my results, it was like I was in the shower, and then my phone was just buzzing, boom, boom, boom. I just checked out, they were telling people congratulations somewhere in one of the groups I was in, and I'm like, result has come out. I was still dying to I just checked. When I saw it, I was like, okay, fine, let me dress up so that I don't run outside naked. It was crazy, but I was so happy. Like, I cried, I laughed, I rolled on the floor. I was so ecstatic, like, I can't even explain. Well, I just want to say thank you to every single person that has supported me throughout this journey. Those close to me know how much I struggled, a lot of challenges, and I really can't list everybody's name. But thank you, Toby. Thank you, Dr. Chidi. Thank you, every single one of you. You guys know yourselves. Like, my bestie, thank you so much for all your all the jokes and encouragement. And most importantly, I thank my family. Thank my mom, my dad, my siblings. They were really a huge support, and I thank God for the success so far. Makes me so emotional thinking about it. But yeah, that's it. That's been my Plab journey. Like, it was, but so far so good. I'm glad everything worked out, and the sacrifices I made were not in vain. So now I want to focus on my masters. So for any of the doctors watching, if people want me to give a more detailed video, do a more detailed video about Plab, IELTS, Plab 1, Plab 2, in more detail, I'll be glad to do that. I can have a whole section where I talk about the exam, materials to use, tips and tricks, everything I learned. By no means am I an authority, please, but I'll be glad to share if you guys want that. So if you are a doctor, a medical student, or if you're interested, just leave it down in the comment section and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. All right, so thank you so much for watching. This is just me rambling. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully we'll get more content out in the coming weeks, and I hope I can keep it up, because this YouTube thing is not easy. All right guys, thanks for watching. Adios.